Hey! What are you doing?
Nothing.
Is this your car? Is this your car?
No.
No?
No.
You can't do that, man. That's like a law. You know, you break the law. So,
Oh yeah, harder, daddy.
Hey,
Oh yeah.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
All right, let's not beat around the bush here. Jack Doherty's time in the spotlight seems to be reaching its inevitable conclusion. If you followed him for any amount of time, you've probably noticed the sharp decline in his content's quality and, more importantly, his relevance. What once made him stand out, his crazy stunts, pranks, and over-the-top antics, now feels played out. The fans who once flocked to his channel are losing interest, and it's not hard to see why. Jack Doherty was one of those YouTubers who capitalized on the whole prank trend back when it was hot. The wild stunts, getting kicked out of places, and the reckless attitude were the kinds of things that kept people watching. It was the same formula that worked for guys like Jake Paul or Tanner Fox. Jack knew how to push boundaries and pull in the views. The young crowd especially loved it. At the time, the edgier the content, the better. That's what helped Jack gain millions of subscribers and rack up millions of views on videos. But here's the thing. Pranks and shock value are trends, and like all trends, they die out. People eventually get tired of the same over-the-top, exaggerated stunts. It's hard to keep that kind of energy going without it feeling forced. And that's where Jack started losing it. The content that once felt fresh and exciting began to feel repetitive, and the audience caught on to that. Every YouTuber faces the inevitable challenge of keeping their content relevant as trends shift. Jack tried to adapt, but here's where the cracks started to show. He moved away from some of the pranks and stunts that had made him popular, trying his hand at different types of content. Challenges, lifestyle vlogs, and even a bit of drama. But unlike the prank videos, these didn't land as well. The problem was simple. His audience didn't care about this new version of Jack. They came for the chaos, for the guy who got banned from malls and chased by security guards. When he tried to tone things down, the energy that made his videos watchable just wasn't there anymore. It felt like Jack was trying to find a balance between his old and new content, but it wasn't working. Fans started to tune out and the views began to drop. Another major issue that Jack Doherty has faced is burnout. Being a content creator at that level is exhausting, especially when your entire brand revolves around being outrageous 24/7. It's not sustainable, and Jack seemed to hit that wall. You could see it in his uploads. There was less enthusiasm, less of that wow factor, but instead of stepping back and recalibrating, he kept pushing forward with the same old tricks, hoping something would stick. But that's not all. Like many influencers, Jack found himself wrapped up in controversy, which did nothing to help his sinking career. There have been accusations of faking his pranks, scripting his content, and even reports that some of the stunts involved breaking the law or putting others at risk. For a guy whose entire persona is built around being real and unfiltered, that's a tough pill to swallow for his fan base. Jack's audience, made up primarily of younger viewers, started to mature. As they grew up, their tastes shifted, and Jack didn't seem to evolve with them. When your content doesn't grow alongside your audience, you risk becoming obsolete. And that's exactly what happened. The younger kids who used to binge watch his videos aren't watching YouTube pranks anymore. They've moved on to other platforms or creators. Jack didn't adapt fast enough, and he's paying the price. Worse, the newer generation of viewers wasn't interested in Jack either. By the time they discovered him, his content was already outdated. Jack didn't bring anything new to the table compared to fresh faces in the game who were pulling off bigger, better stunts or finding innovative ways to entertain. When your whole brand relies on stunts and someone else is doing it bigger, you're left in the dust. In a desperate attempt to stay relevant, Jack Doherty tried to rebrand himself. He made a few videos about his struggles with YouTube, his personal life, and even hinted at quitting the platform altogether. While this kind of raw, emotional content can sometimes bring a creator back from the brink, it didn't work for Jack. Why? Because by that point, too much damage had been done. His audience had already checked out, and they weren't interested in watching him scramble to pick up the pieces. What's worse, it didn't feel genuine. You can't be the guy who makes a career out of being reckless and unapologetic, then suddenly pivot to the "I'm struggling" card when things get tough. People see right through that, and instead of gaining sympathy, Jack ended up looking more desperate than ever. Fans weren't buying it, and the numbers continued to plummet. Now let's talk about the numbers. Jack's viewership has been in a free fall. At his peak, his videos would regularly pull in millions of views, but if you check his recent uploads, you'll see a significant drop. Videos that would have easily crossed the million view mark are now struggling to hit even a fraction of that. His subscriber growth has slowed down to a crawl, and even worse, people are unsubscribing.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
This is a critical indicator in the YouTube world. When you're losing subscribers, it means you're not just irrelevant, but actively turning people away. You can only rely on clickbait thumbnails and titles for so long before people catch on. Once the audience starts to feel like they've seen everything you have to offer, they move on. That's exactly what's happening to Jack Doherty. Another factor in Jack Doherty's downfall is YouTube's ever-evolving landscape. The platform is constantly changing its algorithm, and what used to work doesn't anymore. Back when Jack was blowing up, YouTube's algorithm favored high-energy, controversial content that got people talking. But now YouTube's focus has shifted towards content that keeps viewers engaged for longer periods of time, like podcasts, educational videos, and deeper storytelling. The quick-hit, high-energy prank videos just don't perform as well under the new system. You can see it in the way the platform promotes longer-form content, prioritizes ads on family-friendly material, and pushes creators who have a more consistent, reliable output. Jack's content doesn't fit that mold, and it shows. So what's next for Jack Doherty? Honestly, it's hard to say. His days as a top-tier YouTuber are clearly over, but whether he can salvage what's left of his career is still up in the air. If Jack wants any chance of staying relevant, he needs to completely reinvent himself, and not just with a surface-level change. The days of pranks and reckless behavior are behind him. If he can find a way to adapt to YouTube's changing landscape, there might still be a path forward. But as things stand now, it looks like we're witnessing the end of Jack Doherty. A rise that was fast, wild, and reckless is now fading into obscurity, and the internet is already moving on. Do you think Jack Doherty can bounce back, or is his downfall inevitable? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Subscribe, motherfucker.